Hey everybody, it's Sarah, and I wanted to welcome you to a special rewind edition of EduMatch. So this was recorded in 2015, and our panel today will be talking about their favorite time management hacks. So hopefully you'll find this helpful, and we will see you again soon.
It's Edge Match. Edge Match. It's Edge Match. You're at Edge Match. Edge Match. Don't miss Edge Match. Don't miss Edge Match. You're at Edge Match. Edge Match. Don't miss Edge Match. Don't miss Edge Match.
Hey everybody, welcome to EduMatch Tweet and Talk number, oh goodness, what is this, number 16? Wow, the time does fly. But follow along with us on Google Plus as well as on Twitter using the hashtag EduMatch. Speaking of EduMatch, check us out at edumatch.education and you can fill out the EduMatch Person of the Day form. We would love to promote you on Twitter and get you connected to educators all around the world. Now, this week, if you can't see already from our Hangout panel, I'm very excited because we have so many people here to give so many perspectives, so this is going to be awesome. Also, check out a video dropping approximately around 6:08 from Stefan. He couldn't be here tonight on our panel, but he wanted to share his thoughts as well. Also, Shervette, who is on panel, had a blog post, and that will drop. We will be tweeting the link out for that at approximately 6:10. And last but not least, then we will have some great challenges submitted by Regina Schaefer to help us continue the discussion on Connected Educators Month. Huge shout out, by the way, to Tammy for CEOCT that we did on Thursday. So that was a great event. So I'll have Tammy talk a little bit about that if she doesn't mind, maybe towards the end of the broadcast. But just wanted to introduce Tammy and our topic of time management, and I'm just going to give it over to Tammy, our moderator for this week.
Hey guys, I'm Tammy Neal. I teach game design and intro to tech in a small rural school in North Florida. And so tonight I'm very excited to be able to moderate this conversation about time management. So as we go through the introductions, I'm going to let everybody do their introductions and tell us one thing that just sucks your time away. What is that one thing that you just can't seem to corral? So for me, it's grading papers. Let's see. Derek, let's start with you.
All right, everybody. Hi, how you doing? My name is Derek Larson. I teach in Southern Utah. I teach 5th grade this year. Biggest time suck for me is a little thing called the internet. I get in doing one thing, and I get sucked in, and there's a black hole of an evening gone. So any site, YouTube, anything, you get me, I'm gone. So I'm just shot. I've got to really be careful with what I'm doing.
All right, Matt?
Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Fratale, Matt Frat from DC. Time suck, for me, I'm a little bit of a gamer, so I can sort of get absorbed in video games sometimes, especially Blizzard games.
I hear you on that. Shervette?
Same as Derek. Internet, social media, definitely a time suck for me.
So what do you teach and where are you from, Shervette?
I am, I want to say I'm an English teacher, but as of 2 months ago, I'm no longer an English teacher, but I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and assistant principal.
Great job, great job. Rachel?
Hello, everybody. My name is Rachel Pearson. I am a STEM teacher from South Central Minnesota. Brand new to this position in school district, and it's really exciting to me. So I haven't quite identified exactly what time sucks I have at this new position, but I know in my last 10 years of teaching, definitely internet has been, and social media has been too. And Blizzard games, yes, I was a World of Warcraft gamer. Most recently, though, it's been Destiny that's taken up a bunch of my time. And I really have to watch and make sure that I know how much time these things are taking in my life so I can actually get my work done that I need to get done.
Okay, Shayna?
I'll go, even though there's two Shaynas. I don't know if you meant me or Shayna Glass. I'm Shayna White. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I am a middle school technology coordinator. Time sucks for me. I would say in my new job, it is putting out fires that are technology driven, that are easier to deal with than people make them to be. So simple things like a projector is not cut on properly and the teacher freaks out, and I'm usually dealing with those types of situations rather than being able to help coach teachers and how to use technology in their classroom. So mine are putting out fires that are really not fires. They're like little matches.
I hear you on that as well. Shayna G.
Hey, this is Shayna Glass, and I am an instructional technology specialist in Houston, Texas, for a K through fourth grade. I have to think about that for a second. K through fourth grade engineering magnet school, and my time sucks is definitely what Shayna White just said. The misconception of my role, so where people, sometimes they say IT, they feel like I need to run to make sure things are on and working before assisting them with all of their integration needs. So that is a definite time suck.
I hear you on that too. Sheena.
Hi, I'm Sheena Washington. I teach in Maryland, special education and history. And for me, I think my time suck would probably be being a special educator, kind of similar to the technology field. I feel like I'm pulled between instructional, differentiating instruction and also case management, IEP case management. And then when I'm not in the workload, it's just kind of managing all the different activities that I have going on. I get pulled into Twitter and Facebook a lot, so yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of us on this panel have that same issue. Sarah, I know you've already done your introductions, but what's your time suck?
All right, hey everybody. All right, my biggest time suck. I really can't say because it always feels like everything is so important and everything is so urgent. So usually I get sidetracked when I'm doing one thing and then something else pops up and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget to do that unless I do it right now. So and then in the process, then I keep forgetting to do the very first thing I was doing, and hence my life. So that would be that.
Well, when you're as busy as you are, Sarah, I can see how that can happen. Okay, so our second question tonight is the one that everybody really is here for, and that is our time management tips. So who on the panel would like to go first with their time management hacks?
All right, I have two things I'd like to share with everybody tonight. One of the things I am really trying to do more is keep my calendar and my schedule going in my favor. And one of the things that have helped me to do that is the Passion Planner, and you can find it at passionplanner.com. And it's really like, I know it's not techie or anything, but it's a paper calendar that you can print out, or you can buy the book, the dated planner, or you can download their PDF for free and fill in your own dates and whatnot. And I've really found it helpful to just plot out all my hours, like here's what I'm going to be at school, here's how I'm going to maximize my prep time at school, and if I need to stay late for anything, I can put it in there, and I can really just plan my evening and say I have X amount of hours to do this certain thing, and then cut myself off after that because I know it's not going to be any more productive. And the second thing I'd like to share is the Mailbox app, and you can find that more information on that at mailboxapp.com. And it's an app for OS X, iPhone, iPad, and they have an Android app too. And I like using it a ton more than just the standard mail app in iPhone. Sorry, Apple, but I like Mailbox better. I really like that I can snooze messages and they will reappear in my inbox at a particular time or whenever I set it. And I can swipe one way to delete or archive, swipe the other way to snooze the message or to add it to a particular list. That way you can get to inbox 0 more often and faster, and keep your life a little more organized.
Those are great tips, Rachel. Thank you so much. Now we're going to go over to Matt.
So to continue on Rachel's calendar theme, I have one hack that works. It won't work for everybody, but if you're like me and you've got like just a few appointments every day, maybe one or two, I have to go to this meeting or that meeting, and maybe a few to-do list items. So what I do is, so a lot of us have a calendar, and a lot of us have a to-do list, and they're usually sort of separate things, which is logical. The one thing I do that's interesting is I take my calendar. It doesn't matter what I use, iCal, but Google Calendar, it doesn't even matter. And I have just two colors on it. And like for me, blue is appointments, this meeting at this time, or this parent meeting at that time. And then green is my to-do list items. So, and I put them on this. So I have my to-do list is actually events on my calendar. And if I have to do them today, I put them on today. And I have to do them this week, I put it on like Monday, and if it doesn't really matter when I do them, I'll like shove them off in the corner somewhere. So it's just, one simple way to kind of put everything that's all your appointments and all your to-do lists in one place in front of yourself. And I made a movie about it. And I'll post it in the chat or something.
Okay, we have a question from the Q&A. Sarah's typed it in the side chat for us. Basically from Matt and Rachel, how do you resist the gaming fever? And this is from Nicole Howard on Twitter. So would one of you like to take that question?
I don't know about Matt, but I just finally quit World of Warcraft. I realized that it was taking up way too much time, and I just stopped playing. I think I went back to it once when another expansion came out, but then I said, you know what, this is really just not worth it. And with Destiny, I feel like I can jump on for a little bit, do a couple things, and then leave. I'm not obligated to be there. And the other thing that's helped is the people that I play with normally, we use the app called Slack, and we schedule times to play with each other. And we communicate that way and say, I'm available at X time, and then whoever's there, we can play together.
Thank you for answering the question. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to go now to Shayna White.
The two things that have stuck with me, and one of them I mentioned in a previous tweet and talk with Sarah, I forget which number, maybe 10, 11, 12, is to under-promise and over-deliver. I think a lot of times we over-promise too much, and that's why our plate is always full. Whereas if we under-promise, it'll be a lot easier to deliver the things that we promise people that we'll do. And that's helped me tremendously in this new position. The other thing, my mom is a retired educator of 38 years, that she always mentioned to me is the difference between important and urgent. Some things are just important, and they might just be important to that person, not necessarily me and my job. And then other things are urgent. Something coming from my principal is probably going to be urgent, whereas something coming from, I don't know, some situation like a password reset might not necessarily be urgent at that moment. So being able to decipher important and urgent items that come to me has helped me chop down my to-do list, because I put the urgent items in the front and I make sure I take care of those in the morning. And then the important items I make sure I try to get to, but I make sure I put those further down the list. So I would just say the big thing is to under-promise, because a lot of times we, as connected educators, we always want to help everybody. We want to put our hands in all different pots, and sometimes we can't do that because there's not enough hours in the day. So if you under-promise, you're putting a lot less stuff on your plate. And then when you do promise to do something, kind of be able to decipher that list from important and urgent. Those two things have helped me tremendously.
I think that's an important distinction there for us to be able to be honest with ourselves, too, as to which one is which. Derek, do you have some time hacks for us?
I do. So this week on the EduMatch Voxer group, first off, I'm going to just say that Voxer group can be both a time suck and a hack for me. It's one of the most active groups I'm a part of, and I absolutely love it. But it can sometimes get on me, so I've got to be careful and keep an eye on that. But this week I shared a couple of tools, and I'll share them real quick. It looks like somebody pointed out on Twitter about using Toggle. And Toggle is a great resource. It's toggl.com, and they are fabulous. What it does is basically it will let you track your time, so you can see how long I'm actually taking on certain tasks. So that way you can see, is this task actually becoming a time suck, or is it actually am I doing a decent amount of time on it? Sometimes as educators, we do things, and it's like, man, this I think is really important, but it's taking way too much time, and we have to find a good way to decide. Toggle is really great for that reason. It works on web, works on your different computers. They have mobile apps, so I love using Toggle. It's a tip I actually got from Cool Cat Teacher, and I love that. I've been using it for about 3 to 6 months, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. And the other one of the big ones I talked about was called the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro, Pomodoro technique. It's actually Italian for tomato, which seems really strange, but what it is the idea that you work for 25 minutes, say, and you focus real strong for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. Then you work for 25 more minutes, focus real strong, take another 5-minute break. Repeat that pattern 2 more times, and on the 4th time after working, you give yourself a 15-minute break. So you have a little bit longer break, and then that way, what you're doing is you're telling your brain 25 minutes straight of work. Then I can do 5 minutes of whatever I want to do, and I think that's really helpful for me because then I can go out and I can go do these other things. I can play on YouTube, I can play on social media, but then I have an alarm that's going to go off in 5 or 15 minutes to remind me, okay, now get yourself back into what you're doing. So you kind of have a little bit of that both. I also use that oftentimes to remind me to stand up, get off your tush and kind of move around for a minute, get some of your steps or do something. So Pomodoro technique is fantastic. You can find lots of different apps for it. You can even go as simple as using a little timer, and that's where it came from. The guy was using a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato. And so he'd set it for 25 minutes, worked in 5 minutes, so that's kind of the idea. Pomodoro technique is fantastic. So no matter what you're using, I would find ways to kind of throw that in. And the last thing I would say is I use a thing sometimes called the Big Three, where first thing in the morning I'll sit down and I'll write down on a piece of paper what are the 3 most important things I have to accomplish today. And I'll write them out and I'll number them 1, 2, 3, and that's my most important pieces I have to fit in. But when I get done with those big 3, then I feel like I'm okay. When my time runs out, I can look and say, okay, how many of those did I get done? I only got 2 of them today. I've got to find a way to get this 3rd one done quick, or I've got to do it first thing tomorrow morning. And sometimes writing it on paper really helps. It's not. I'm very much tech guy. I use all kinds of different. I have 3 different task applications, task managers. But this is a good thing I like to do on paper. It gives me an excuse to use my fountain pens, which I love. I'm an absolute paper nerd and pen nerd. But this is a good thing also because it's different. So a couple of thoughts there.
Awesome, awesome. Lots of great tips. Thank you so much, Derek. Sheena.
Well, one of the things, again, I'm Sheena Washington, a special educator and history teacher, high school from Maryland. And one of the things that I use a lot to help me with time management in terms of my workload is GQueues. It is fantastic in terms of you create task lists and you can have different folders for different aspects. So I have a task list for case management, I have a task list for co-taught classes, I have a task list for my intensive classes, I have a task list for my personal things that I do outside of school. And as you finish each task, you can check it off your list. And there is the thing that I really like about it is that it creates an Excel spreadsheet of all the things that you've accomplished within the week, within the month. And it's really good for me in terms of being able to say, this is how much time I spent, during my 45 minutes of teacher planning. This is how much time I spent working on case management, developing IEPs. This is how much time I spent working on instructional planning. Another tool that I have kind of just signed up for is Trello. I haven't used it yet, but it's similar in many ways. I think it's more collaborative, so you can share task lists with multiple people that you're working on a common project on. So that's another one that I'm going to kind of look into more in terms of coordinating work and information with other special educators when it comes to kind of managing IEP meetings and getting data about students.
I love those ideas. I'm a Trello user as well, so I know the importance of it. Let's see, Jana.
I've tried the task list and I'm trying to keep up with the Google Calendar, and it just came out that I do need to see it on paper, and I actually need to see it all over the boards, but I cannot afford the what is that paint? You guys know what I'm talking about. The dry erase paint. So what I did was I used plexiglass, and I have it up on the walls in my office, and I do my big 3s. I can't remember. I think it was Derek that said he does the big 3s. I do that on my on my walls, and it is right in my face. Instead of just using a whiteboard, I use liquid chalk, so it's bright and vibrant, and it appears like windows. And I like to kind of color code as I get my big three done for the day. And then the other thing that I use, it's paper as well, is the uncalendar. I don't know if anyone's heard of the uncalendar. It was suggested to me from another friend on Twitter, and I ordered it. I actually made my own calendar. I wanted to do the Erin Condren thing. I'm cheap. I'm extremely cheap. So I ordered the uncalendar, and you literally get to plot out everything in every category. And I bought the template, so I only bought the pages, went to Staples and bought the notebook that you can build yourself, so you can create your own covers and things. And I am able to lay out my task. I'm able to create my to-do list. I'm able to lay out my checklist, and I can break my calendar apart week by week, month by month, and for the whole year, for the following year if I want to, in each of the categories. It's fantastic, and I think I saved half the price on Erin Condren. It's not as bright and as designer as everything else, but definitely has helped me with my time management.
Well, I think that shows that we need to find the thing that works best for us, and it's okay if it's not snazzy and pretty, as long as it works for us.
Just wanted to thank the panel for all of your awesome suggestions. Fantastic. These will definitely help us all get more organized. Wanted to thank Tammy again for being such an awesome moderator. And Tammy, if you wouldn't mind just saying a couple of words about CEOCT. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but just your reflections on there.
Well, I think that Thursday night, Sarah and I and a ton of educators around the globe, we got together at 8 p.m. in every single time zone, and it was just a great conversation of why we're connected, our reflections about becoming connected educators, and how we can help those around us become better connected, or to focus on the connections that are already there. So just really, I was just very grateful to be able to spend the day with Sarah. 24 hours with Sarah is a great thing, and I'll take it any chance I can get it. So we're going to do it again next year, I think, and next year October 1st falls on a Saturday, so we'll be able to spend all 24 hours maybe on air. We'll see how that goes. But it was a great time, and it's a great way to kick off Connected Educator Month, and hope everybody joins us next year.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was a great time. So, so thank you to the entire team for that. Thank you to Tammy. And just want to let everyone know the Twitter chat will be storified, and you'll get notifications of that. And this will be archived as an iTunes podcast. So come back next week. We are going to be talking about the EdNATO wrap-up. So EdNATO is a conference taking place in Pennsylvania on Saturday, free conference. So just wanted to definitely put that out there. And if you do happen to attend, then check us out, bit.ly/tweettalk17 next week. Anyone can be a panelist. Just leave a comment on the Google Hangout page. Also, let's change the world together. Just visit bit.ly/bigeduidea just to drop off a 30-second video of your big educational idea. There's more details on that page. Also, before we go, I have to give a huge shout out to Regina Schaefer in New Jersey, who shared with us some great connected educator challenges. So I'm going to share my screen with you all for a second. And this link just dropped on the EduMatch hashtag about 8 minutes ago. But this is for people who might already be connected but want to take it up another notch. So definitely check this out. There are 3 different challenges. This is the first week. It's kicking off tomorrow on Monday. So there's 3 challenges here. Feel free to do 1, 2, or 3. It's totally up to you. So check those out whenever you get a chance. And if you do them, then please just share them out with the EduMatch hashtag. And Last but not least, if you're interested in subscribing to this podcast, please do so at bit.ly/EduMatch Podcast. So thank you so much to everyone on panel. Thank you so much to everyone on Twitter. Thank you so much to everybody watching, everyone participating. Love to have you here. So everyone have a fantastic evening. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
It's Edge Match. Edge Match. It's Edge Match. You're at Edge Match.